Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the BBO NYG Podcast. I am Mike. That's Jules. That's Sean. Special guest again. He's coming back for probably like the 8th time already. His Vin is back. But guys, I was almost late coming on this pod, man, because I got caught in that Netflix documentary about the Mateo with his fake fucking girlfriend.
Oh, catfish.
Oh, is that what that's about?
Yo, it just dropped on Netflix, bro. I started watching it. I'm up at episode number 2 right now. Yo, fascinating. I remember back in the day, I was making fun of this dude. I'm like, what a loser. But now I feel fucking terrible, man. He got the ultimate fool, like catfished. Ultimate catfish.
Oh, he got catfished.
Yeah, dude.
He didn't make up shit.
Dude, I don't want to ruin it for you, but
All
yeah,
right.
this shit is fucking crazy. Like, you gotta fucking watch this shit.
He played like shit in the championship game, I think, because of
Oh,
it.
he's
Does
terrible, dude.
Yeah,
He blamed it on the catfish.
Yeah,
seriously.
yo, wait till you see the catfish and what happened to the catfish. It's some wild shit. So
How long ago is this now? This
goes
has to be like 10 plus years ago, at least, right?
exactly because it was right
Close
before.
to it, yeah.
It was right before coming out. It's like 2009, like around there. You got like
How many episodes?
Wow, it's like 13 years ago then.
I don't know, but I'm on episode number 2, and it's about like an hour long each. So I was like, shit, I didn't want to put my phone down. I'm like, yo, I seen it come, I pop up on a Barstool like today, like, it dropped. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta fucking see this because that shit was fucking nuts back then. Like, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, and I love that dude. But then, like, I was making fun of him, like, yo, you got a fake girl, you gay, all that fucking bullshit. And then I'm like crying, man. I'm like, oh shit, dude. I'm like, feel terrible for your ass because that shit could happen to me.
Did he get drafted? Didn't he get drafted by the NFL?
San Diego.
San Diego. That's right. All
Florida.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
They thought
He didn't
they
have much of an
they
NFL
thought
career,
they
right?
had another say out, right?
He had a good
They were hoping. They were hoping.
He had about 5 more fake girlfriends, John, like throughout his NFL career. But yeah, you gotta fucking see it, man. Fascinating.
I'm definitely checking that out. You know, anytime I get a recommendation like that, I'm taking it. I'm taking advantage of it.
Yo, but Vin, thanks for coming on again, Vin.
Hey, welcome, bud. What's up?
Thanks for having me, guys.
What would you like to talk about first? You want to recap the game first, Jules? Like, what's on the menu, man?
Yeah, let's get the game out of the way because we have other things that have developed since the game anyway, right? And again, it's a preseason game, but man, when I tell you that people really fucking looked into this game like it was the first game of the season against Tennessee or some shit. Like, that's literally how you would see on social media that this game was getting fucking broken down. You would have thought that, like, there was people celebrating that we won. There was people fucking talking about quarterback controversy. There's people talking about injuries now, and we're decimated with injuries. Like, it's insane. After one fucking preseason game, that means absolutely nothing. And everything in all of our opinions will probably change this coming Saturday.
Jules, like I said in our group test, welcome to New York.
You know, seriously.
This is what it is over here, man. People go crazy. 4 passes, 4 runs, and people just react like, they're going crazy. I feel like, 5 days ago, it's, the game being, you kind of forget the details of it. It's just one really was 2 drives. One of them was with Andrew Thomas. Then they sat him down, and the offense looked okay. They was very vanilla. They didn't do exactly what they were going to do, but you watch it in the moment, realize like a football, like, all right, it's just preseason, no problem. And then for some reason, like half the population just fucking their brain shuts off. And all of a sudden it's like their entire lives revolve around that. If I can go on Twitter 3 different times during the day and all you see is the same people fighting about the same topics all fucking day long. It's like, oh, it's a preseason game. Like, Jesus Christ.
I was pissed because they didn't cover the spread. They won by 2. The spread was 3. I was like, fuck.
Crazy how Vegas gets us the whole time.
So, Vin, why don't we get a little fresh perspective since you don't get yourself too caught up on Twitter or these other fucking places fighting and arguing with people and shit. What was your initial take at the end of Thursday night?
I think the 2 spots on this football team that I think we're already running thin on in terms of depth. We got injuries, and that's our secondary and our O-line. I feel like bodies are dropping on that O-line. It's It's the same thing every year. I was at FanFest was it last week? The week before
Thanks for
on
calling.
Friday. Were you there? Were you guys there?
No, I would have
Oh.
went. Nobody was going, so I was like, "Hey, fuck it, I'll stay home."
No, so I went to FanFest and I saw our McKeithion, who was he, our fifth round pick. He went down with the ACL. A couple of days before that, we lost the guy Gano that we signed from Atlanta, and then I know these are fringe guys, these are depth pieces, but it's like, damn, that rookie's now going to miss a whole year, and then and then to see now Shane Lemieux has an issue where he's doubtful for week 1 when it looked like the left guard spot was his for the taking. I'm a little concerned about the line again. Feliciano sat out for a little while with heat exhaustion, so I think he'll be fine once we get going. But I absolutely love the Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal. I know Evan Neal's going through his progressions right now. I'm sure the Eric Flowers chatter will pop up, but he's going to fight through that. I'm sure you guys are on Twitter. I'm sure it's going to pop up. Well, as soon as that guy gives up a sack or, the kid's got to grow and he's got to fight through that bad sort of media talk.
Those kids will end up in the haters club, whoever goes after him, for sure.
Yeah, we need to encourage him to play well. And I don't think we need to get on him because we need O-line in the worst way. So I don't know. From the game, I just like John said, I not much you could take from it. There's no real progressions. It's been we played a bunch of backups. I would have liked us to score. I thought we moved the ball well with that first team offense. But then when we got in the red zone, I know Galladay, bobbled the ball, whatever, on the third down. But I'm like, I would just love for us to score. Like we've been the most inept offense. I look at teams with these bogus players, no-name players off the street, and they score at will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a scoring league, and we're the worst at it. Like we don't know how to score. I don't know. That's my take on, and the rest of the game, I didn't watch as emphatically as I probably should have because I was, it was second and 13 guys. But Tyrod looks comfortable in the pocket. I like him as a backup. He came a year too late. And I'm sure down on our agenda we'll get to Tyrod, but I think if Daniel Jones goes down with injury, I think we're in okay hands with Tyrod. I don't think Tyrod's a starter. He could give you spot starts. But once the pressure sets in with, the guy had opportunities with Rex Ryan's Bills and all that. He's had contracts. He's had opportunities. Sometimes he's gotten hurt. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
We know what he is. We know what he is already by now. That's it. And for the people clamoring for him to start, you don't want him to start. If he's our starter, if he's get named our starter for this reason, our season is done. 100%.
Yes.
You have to root for Daniel Jones. You need him to succeed for this engine to start running, man. Otherwise, we're fucked again, and then we're going to be looking for a quarterback next year. We shouldn't want that to happen.
My only thing about Jones is we could blame the offensive line in years past or the organization or a new offensive system, whatever. He's on the hook this year.
Yeah,
so he's too skittish in the pocket. He gets that ball. That dude is already rolling to the right. I like Daniel Jones, who's 6'4".
6'5".
6'5", to stand tall in that pocket, don't move, and make your reads. You know what I mean? And that's what I saw out of Taylor. And I know he's running with twos and he's going against twos, but Taylor just stays in the pocket, doesn't really move much, and just makes his reads and goes. I think Daniel Jones is most effective, believe it or not moving his feet. At least not when you say hike. You know what I mean? You say hike, stand in the pocket, then extend the play if you have to. If the pocket collapses on you or what have you. I've seen Daniel Jones. He doesn't do it often, but stand in the pocket and make your throws. You know what I mean? Throw the ball away. Slide every now and then. Don't go head first every 2 seconds. Live for the next play.
Yeah, I think I hope this isn't the case. We saw this with Eli Manning, where you go a couple of seasons where you just get smacked around like that. It's tough to feel comfortable as a quarterback with, you got 250, 280 pound guys, 300 pound guys, looking to hurt you every play, and your offensive line is barely stopping them. You know what I mean? Even in the preseason game, he got rolled up on as he threw that deep ball, I think, to Galladay when it kind of sailed over Galladay's head a little bit.
Yeah, getting out the legs.
He got hit right down the legs. Yeah, running back was like, he got folded up. But when Daniel Jones came out, he didn't come out as like some super athletic type of a quarterback. He came out as a pocket quarterback that had speed and had athleticism, but it wasn't like a Russell Wilson or like Patrick Mahomes where he's running all over the place, like trying to make plays like that. He had speed. People knew he had athleticism, but he was a Eli Manning type. Like he wasn't going to be create magic like that. He was just going to be an actual traditional quarterback. And you just hope that the last couple of years, with the way things have gone, that talent that we saw in the rookie year, he's able to kind of settle back into that groove where he was throwing touchdowns, had big games, felt comfortable. And we have ourselves a quarterback, because like Mike said, if not, you can't look at anybody in this team and be excited about that, because by the time we actually can hit it on a quarterback, none of these players are going to matter. Not fucking Kenny Galladay, Toney in 2-3 years from now, who knows if he's even a Giant anymore, if he's in the NFL anymore. You can't be excited about anything if you can't be excited about Jones.
Can I ask you guys a question about Daniel Jones? With his speed, they're saying like he reached speeds like faster than Lamar Jackson, right? Yeah. Is he better suited for like a read option type of offense? Because it seems
because he can't slide.
Well, that's all right. That's a good point. But it seems like every time he did the read option, it seemed like it led to big plays, didn't it? When he did it like once, like in a blue moon in a way. I don't know. I don't know if they're using him right or what the fuck's going on. But I'm hoping week 1 we see like a whole bunch of different shit.
And I think we will too, because that's the whole point of getting Brian Dable, and then Brian Dable getting Kafka is exactly for that. Not just vanilla, just a creative offense that takes advantage of the players, unlike what we had with the last coaching staff. I think you're definitely going to see that. I think it should be incorporated, the run pass and the RPOs and all that stuff. But I don't know if it's like should be the basis, because he is a little bit injury prone, and it's not really like he's he can run fast, but he's more like, I feel like it's more like having like a 70 Chevelle rather than like a new Ferrari. You're not running around like Lamar Jackson. You're going to go a straight line real fast, and you're going to outrun a defense if the opportunity presents itself, like on the play where he tripped. Yeah. But he's got accuracy and he's got good timing. Just get him to feel comfortable, and you're going to be able to run offense, whatever offense you want.
I mean, listen, look, you know what? There were things to take away from this game that what you really look for in your first preseason game, and that's guys that are fighting for positions. That's guys that are rookies to see if they step up and they can play on the level at the NFL. And you want to just see overall how that first team, if they are out there, can perform maybe and go down the field, right? So those are the things you were looking at. At least that's what I would look at. You don't want to overlook at things. That's why when we get into that whole Jones and Tyrod debate, and that's going to be part of our Haters Club segment, it's just over the top that we're going to really have that kind of a discussion after fucking one preseason game, where it wasn't even equal playing time, playing snaps against the same team with the same kind of team out there. So like, that's just this craziness that we'll get into shortly. But, there was a couple of key points, right? So if we look at the defensive side of the ball, since we really haven't spoken of it, Tibbs looked good at times. He did create that false start, right? We went on like one of the first series of the game. There was, and you could tell, look, he was pretty much a man on an island there, because there was no Ojulari. We didn't have our whole starting defense in there. So it would be nice to see what happens when all the pieces are actually put in place. And then this dude's out there and he's rushing and attacking, where you can't just leave some of these other guys being one-on-one block. So that's going to be interesting to wait and see. Listen, you guys, I know you were big on Aaron Robinson when we traded up for him last year in the 3rd round. Dude, he looked lost. It's one thing to just get beat or be out of position or, hey, listen, make a bad play. But like, he looked lost. Like, there was just plays where he just looked like he didn't know what he was doing in the defense, didn't know where he was supposed to line up, who he was supposed to cover. I mean, dude, it's simple backyard football. When a guy runs and lines up in front of you and blows right down the sideline by you, you get away with that play, and they literally do the second play the same fucking way, and he doesn't get on you. And then you get burned from a turnaround in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Dude, that's unacceptable. And it's such a shame because here we kind of reached again for another corner in Flott, and we don't know what we were going to get out of this kid. And he had the perfect opportunity to step up and like maybe start looking. He looked kind of good. And then all of a sudden he goes out with a hamstring injury.
Right.
So it's like, damn, bro, there goes your shot, kid. Now we got to go get Warren G's son to come in here. And hopefully he's as good as his dad was a rapper playing corner. But, I know it's a depth piece ad, but like, literally that's what we're throwing in. We're going to say, we say this.
Yeah, I have a suggestion. I don't know. I know Darnay Holmes is having a heck of a camp. He's had like 4 picks and stuff like that. He played outside at UCLA. Maybe Darnay Holmes has another year on this team in the league. Maybe you do the switcheroo, and you put Darnay on the outside as the second corner, and then you have Robinson. Remember, as a rookie, he started on the PUP list and he didn't get playing time till like week 10, I remember. And then he started only like 2 games. So to keep this sort of pressure, I don't know. I like Joe Shane. I like everything he's done. But there's been one gaffe so far, I think, from Shane, and that is not filling the corner spot because everybody knew Bradbury was going to go. So for him not to get, we talked about it during the draft, for him not to get in that second round, I think the guy ended up going to Minnesota. I forget the guy's name. He traded back not once, twice, and we didn't get the corner that I really desperately thought this team needed. We ended up with another short receiver.
We got Cordell
Flott
later in the round, but
and also you got it.
No, in the second round we got Robinson.
No, but I'm saying in the later rounds,
right. We got Flott after, but
but he got hurt too.
Yeah,
right.
so
and that's what the shame was, because it would have been great to see him play and see what the kid had. He had his opportunity preseason game. Yeah, this past week.
I'm sorry. I just want to make this last point because I'm going to forget it.
Good.
Like Logan Ryan too. We let him walk with no sort of cap savings whatsoever. Like we need to save shit. We're letting that guy go. And I'm like, you know what? The guy signed 2 hours later with the Bucks. Like, tell me there's not tampering there. I don't know. It's just I feel like the secondary not having that second corner, and let alone Adoree Jackson, who I love. I love Adoree Jackson. He's injury prone. Another one. He's a smaller guy in stature. I feel like the secondary is going to have a long season. They really are.
They better have a pass rusher to make them.
I'm banking on it.
You need a pass rush and you need a run stopping defense. You need Dexter Lawrence and Blake Martinez and Tate Crowder to stop the run and put them into 3rd and longs. If you can do that regularly, then it's not as glaring a problem if Aaron Robinson's not great. Would it have been, if he has a great season, obviously that's going to be best case scenario for everybody. But if they're sitting there relying on him to like man up against wide receiver 2s in a league where there's 100 good fucking wide receivers, he's going to be playing top tier talent every week, and he's not going to get much help. That's not the way their defense runs. Just that pass rush and them getting him into 3rd and longs will mask a lot of that. And you just hope that he grows. Like you said, he only played 6-7 games in a which he didn't play any preseason games. And now this year, he's finally getting some rub there. So you hope that, by week 3, week 4, he starts to pick it up and he's able to just be serviceable, because that's all he needs to be. He doesn't need to be a star. Adoree Jackson's a star. Xavier McKinney's a star. Ojulari and what's his face? Fucking Thibodeau. They're the stars.
Leonard Williams, don't forget Leonard Williams. I think he's gonna be a
Leonard
big
Williams,
year.
Dexter Lawrence, first round pick.
Big year.
And you got to keep one thing in mind too, Vin. For whatever reason, in Wink Martindale's system, that nickel corner is huge. He's gonna play a lot of snaps. It's not like we run that type of defense and it only comes on 3rd and long or in passing situations, 2-minute drills. It's not. That's a big factor. So we need Darnay to play in the position he's in. So that also can overshadow later on in the season. There might be different packages that they mix in where that corner is able to help a little bit with Robinson as well. So we don't know. Yeah. Like I said, the main thing that I was focusing on there was the fact that Flott had an opportunity and he kind of let it fall out, unfortunately, because he got that hamstring injury. But 2 guys that also stood out were both Beavers and McFadden. They looked fantastic, right? They were fucking flying around all over the place to the ball. These guys were coming up. I mean, Beavers was putting hits on people.
Beavers look good.
He looked good, man. I get it. It's against 2nd, 3rd string guys. I get it. But you know what? If he's going against second, third string guys, and he's supposed to be a second, third string guy, and he's shining, then guess what? He's sort of kind of getting up to that level where he's like maybe 1B at this point now, right?
Yeah.
He's part of that B team, getting ready to get maybe into like that A squad. So it was good to see those guys stepping up like they did. Look, as far as Neal going to the offensive side of the ball, being like Flowers, no, not even close. Does he need to still work on his pass protection? Absolutely. But that's going to come with time. You know, you could take what Andrew Thomas did. It took a little while to develop and get that pass rush down. You know, it's a little bit faster in the NFL than it is in college. So he's going to get to it. The one thing that stands out the most about Neal that you did not see with Flowers or any of these guys that we've had in the past is that his run blocking is tremendous already. This guy goes down the field and you could run to that right side. He's opening lanes. He's going down the field. I mean, shit, he got into that second level on one of those first runs early on the opening drive and almost didn't know where to go anymore because he didn't realize that he was past the linebackers and he could start like taking out safeties. And Saquon had to put like his little hand on his back a little bit to kind of push him into it and kept going. So, I mean, that dude's going to be a beast when it comes to run blocking. So if he's just got to focus on his pass protecting, they're working on it. You see almost every day in practice, he goes up one-on-one against Tibbs. Tibbs is going to be that kind of guy. He's that kind of pass rusher. He's kind of that elite level. He may not be top 5 right now, but the kid is going to get there. He's going to be in the top 10 by the end of the season. I'm definitely going to say and predicting that as far as a pass rusher is concerned. So if he's going up against that dude, every day, you're getting the right kind of reps in practice, and that shit's only going to make you better. As far as Jones is concerned with the whole gun shyness, I mean, dude, you're right. It's unfortunate, but he's dealt with a lot of different pass coordinators, offensive coordinators rather, telling him what to do on a pass play, how to throw the ball, 3-step, get rid of it quick, don't do this, take this read. So he's going through some growing pains. And it was that one play that stood out to me. And I know, John, you and I spoke about it earlier today, and you mentioned to me that it was actually one of the coaches came out and said it was designed that way, which still blows my mind. I don't know if that's just Dable covering, because it does seem like he does cover for a lot of his players at this point in time, where he'll just be like, no, we told him to do that. No. We wanted to see what that player looked like in a situation, which is great because he's deflecting as a head coach, and you want to see that. He's not afraid to take the heat himself, which is fantastic, right? But I'm sorry, dude. I look at that 3rd and goal play, the one where Galladay drops the ball, and I've now watched that play about 17 times from multiple angles. And there is fucking no way, because I even heard where people said that Neal messed up on the pass protection. They literally did a stunt where they had like a safety or the linebacker blitzing, and they kind of looped around. So, you know, the offensive lineman is always going to look to protect inside out. So he took the blitz coming from the outside, which he picked up the blitz fine. And then literally the end was able to just rush off the corner clean. And you could see, if you freeze it and you go frame by frame, Barkley sees it. There's like a point where like they almost squared up with one another, like they're doing a tackling drill. And then Barkley goes and takes an extra step outside to run around them. And I'm like, dude, if you know that you have a gun-shy quarterback who's been getting beat up for the last couple of seasons, I don't give a fuck if you're not supposed to chip that guy. There is no way I'm letting some defender run clean to hit my fucking quarterback, even if it is a bang-bang play. Just the fact that that guy might be able to put his hand on my quarterback is enough for me to just throw an elbow, and I'll get pulled to the sideline and get yelled at and be like, look, there was 3 receivers to the left. The tight end who fell down, it might have been Bellinger. I wasn't even sure because he was running around. It looked like him and Barkley were going to run into each other anyway if the tight end doesn't fall down. So what was the whole point of getting Barkley out there to go run a slant route that fast? He should have just chipped and then maybe ran out to the flat as like an out route, if anything, on that side. So I had a problem with that, and that's literally that 3rd and goal play. As much as I want to, and I cannot stand the way Galladay's been looking at it thus far, maybe that whole play was just busted up, right? And that was what happened there. And maybe it was a little bit more of a rush throw because it almost looked like Galladay was going to run some sort of delay because people were saying that he was dogging it. He wasn't running the routes crisp enough. I don't know. So when you look at that play from all the different angles that I finally had an opportunity to see, it might have just been a busted play. That's what I'm kind of chalking that one up to. So Galladay actually, believe it or not, will get a pass from me on that one after reviewing that play.
I don't know, man. You're getting paid $1 million for 17 games, $1 million a game or whatever it is, however much money we're paying him. The quarterback throws you the ball, you fucking catch it. You know,
Fair.
If that was a regular season game, bro, like no one would have cared about Saquon Barkley fucking chipping the guy or not. And frankly, if Galladay caught the ball, no one would care if Galladay chipped
No
him.
one would care.
It's only dissected because of the fact that Galladay dropped the ball. You can't. I mean, you can't Giants have been fucking notorious for having drop passes, especially we had a guy who was literally playing volleyball in the middle of the field for 5 years, and now he's finally down in Jacksonville. Our boy Evan Ingram over there. You can't be the guy getting paid $17 million a year and fucking not catching balls. Preseason game, you don't care, fine, but you
It's
can't be doing
interesting
that
you
right
brought up Evan Ingram. I was just about to say that this fan base will turn Kenny Golladay into the new Evan Ingram if you don't start performing. My
He's
biggest
such a
problem with
bad
Kenny
runner.
Golladay, other than his ineptitude thus far, because he's my type of receiver. He's over 6 feet. He goes after contested balls. He's a Plaxico Burress, you know. I like that red zone threat that we have in him. I don't like these short receivers. I like these tall guys. So for me,
Go without the guns, people.
right, exactly, pretty much. But like I just think the worst thing that I see with Kenny Golladay, and I heard reports that he stayed in Jersey, worked with Daniel Jones. The no touchdowns last year really got to him and stuff like that. I like to hear that. Maybe he's motivated. But in this preseason in camp, he gives off really bad body language. Like, I don't know. At the fan fest that I attended, like I was zeroing in on Kenny Golladay. He looked mad about a ball that sailed over his head. And I was watching to see he spoke to Jones a little bit. He was speaking to Toney, and he just gives off like bad body language. Now I don't know if that's just his way. That's the way he is. He's got like a resting bitch face or something, or is he really like pissed off? Like, is he really like a dude that is we're stuck with him? The dead cat money. I don't even want to bring that up because
He's not.
He's playing.
He's not this regime's guy though. That's the whole thing. So
Right.
he knows he's probably on a short leash, but he's gonna get paid. He's gonna get fucking paid. So he should go out there and fucking ball and be.
Right.
I'm hoping he turns around week one. I told Giants fans, I'm like, yo, wait till at least halftime of week one to fucking start dogging him.
Right. Yeah, me too. I think Golladay could turn it on. I feel like there's he has to. There's no other. He's got to be the guy. For me, yardage, whatever. I want to see 8 touchdowns from him. I want red zone threat. I want to see touchdowns.
That's exactly right.
Guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least 8.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8. Just be a part of the offense that you're aiding, and then when you get down to fucking the red zone, score some touchdowns. Fucking help your fucking team out, bro. You're 6'5", 6'4", whatever you are. You're bigger than any cornerback that you're going to be standing on. You made it to the NFL, had monster seasons, led the NFL in touchdowns because you were bigger than people and knew how to use your body. Fucking just get yourself fucking mentally there, catch 6, 7, 8 touchdowns, and no one's gonna say a bad thing about you.
Could you guys imagine if this dude gets so good that he gets double teamed, and then if we're healthy, that frees up Toney to do his thing, or like if Golladay,
Barkley.
If Golladay,
Challenger.
Keep fucking dreaming.
Yeah. Those days of Galladay getting double covered are way overdue. I would just hope that he could draw the quarterback one from the team.
Yeah.
If he gets CB1 to D up on him one-on-one and keep that guy entertained, that will open up the offense.
He's in the prime of his career. How old is Golladay? He's in the prime of his career.
I'll find out for you right now.
It don't matter.
He's no more than 30.
We're a power run team anyway. The way we're running the ball. I mean, Gary Brightwell looked like Barry Sanders the other fucking night, man. We're gonna run the ball down people's throats, man, with this fucking line. I'm telling you, man.
Mike, we're gonna have to when Colin Johnson's our best fucking wide receiver right now. Okay, let's not forget that guy is fucking shining in practice. He's going into the game. If you take away that one fumble that he had when Tyrod was running the ball down the field, bro, he would have had an all-star fucking. That's the type of shit you wanted to see out of Toney, out of Robinson, out of Galladay. Fuck, I would have took that out of Shepard at all this fucking time. I mean, bro, you're talking about Robinson was a second-round pick. Toney's a first-round pick. Shepard's a former second-round pick. I don't remember where Galladay was drafted. He might have been third or second. I can't remember off the top of my head because it was the Detroit Lions. All right, we have Colin Johnson as our standout currently. Even in practice today, people were tweeting that Daniel Jones connected nice to Johnson down the fucking sideline and shit. Where's that to Galladay? Instead, I see Galladay on the sideline doing drills where it looked like he was practicing catching that slant pass. And I literally tweeted, I said, look, only if he could do that on 3rd and goal when he's actually running and when they can actually maybe score a touchdown. Like, instead of doing that shit on fucking nothing for practice. Dude, it's kind of embarrassing. I'm sorry. Yo, the Toney thing, You guys already know that I'm more Team Robinson than I am Team Toney. If we had to choose between the two, because they look like identical players almost on the field as of today. But fucking Team Toney, man, I can't get behind the guy. The dude doesn't fucking play. He comes in, he looks like an amazing all-star in the Dallas game, and then we never see him again the rest of the season. You see him in practice, all of a sudden he's getting his shit together. He's getting praises from the coaches. He looks good in this fucking thing. Shit, did he even do anything in Fan Fest, Vin? I don't think so.
No, he
Hey,
was
you
out
do
there.
shit. You
He
put
was
this guy in
another
the
one.
game.
He looked angry. He was another one that the body language was very good. I don't know if they like Jones. That was my take on the
Oh,
sideline.
damn. Oh,
Yo,
boy.
doesn't-
Well, we're going to get to the whole thing about that now.
I'm just saying.
Doesn't Tony look like some kind of Teletubby or some shit with that head shit wrap? Like, right? He just needs some little pointy fucking things coming out of his
Dude,
fucking.
do you know how hot it was for Fan Fest? And he had that on.
It's
it
already,
was-
I got to
It
agree
was
with
a
you.
heat wave.
yeah, what the fuck? It's like 98 degrees, motherfucker.
But he does have ears, because I wasn't sure. And it must have been one of the times when we were pushing like real temperature at like 107 during practice. There is a photo of him that circulated through the internet of him actually without this shit on and his ears exposed. I was like, holy shit, he got ears. I couldn't believe it. All right, good for you, Tony. You can fucking maybe listen
That's
to
the
what's
title.
going on.
Tony got ears.
Seriously, Tony got ears. It's shocking, but he just don't got the fucking playing grit. And like, you know what? You can't have these first and second round players, even going back to Hernandez with the offensive line, right? Because we're talking about offensive depth. Yo, we haven't really hit on first and second round in multiple years. Like, think
Like
about
10
it. That
years.
hasn't. We haven't hit for both of them in a long fucking
GMs.
time. Right.
Both
So,
GMs.
it's a
Agree.
little scary. I mean, look, Robinson's a rookie, and what we're going to use him for, what kind of role he's actually going to do for this offense, it still could be developing. We might not be ready for some of the shit that we're going to use him for, right? Like it was just to kind of get out there and get some of these other plays, because I don't really see him lining up on the outside. It's supposed to be Galladay and Tony, and then he's going to kind of be roving around in that middle somewhere, and backfield, and doing all types of stuff where he could be sort of that gadget player, if you would. So I don't know. Maybe that was part of it, but you know what? Look, we all know this, that today it was all over the place, courtesy of Madeline Burke, who is a sports personality. She literally stated that, and I'm paraphrasing, that Gable basically said that him and Shane are on the same page, and that whoever performs is going to play. And I don't necessarily take that as something that's going to be between Tyrod and fucking Daniel Jones, because we're going to get into that very shortly when we get to the Haters Club. But I take that more so with all these receivers, right? You're having a guy like Colin Johnson who's having a fucking fantastic, spring, and then now he's coming into the preseason. And then, you have guys like Toney, who's nowhere to be found. Robinson, who they might be showcasing at a certain point in time. Slayton, who started. He came out in the beginning of the game and then, got that one fucking end around, which I was screaming at the TV saying, why didn't we give that to Robinson? But literally got that. And, maybe we're trying to showcase him to trade him. I mean, you have all these receivers. Let's not forget 2 seasons ago, we were on one of our podcasts and we were over here like going crazy about how Slayton's going to be a fucking #1 receiver. And oh my God, he's going to stretch the field. He's going to be amazing. And now we can't get rid of the fucking guy. So, the wide receiver room is question mark, bro. And there's a lot of talent supposedly on paper in that room, but it's not translating to the fucking field as of yet.
Well, they've also only played 2 drives, so we can't say it's not translating to the field just yet. At least not with this new regime. It's not a question mark. It's a question mark in the sense of it's volatile in the sense of who's going to be the guy that steps up, because there's guys who've been here who have potential that you haven't seen it, and that extends all the way to Evan Ingram and fucking Odell Beckham towards the end of his Giants career. Just the guys who are supposed to come in and do something, just not getting it done. Offensive line plays well this year. You might see all these guys be contributing, and none of them, like this conversation being like, I can't believe we were talking about, this wide receiver room isn't good. We finished the season with 3 guys with 800 yards or something like that. Possible.
And listen, you got to understand too, one thing here. It's almost becoming insulting in this, right? Right. Where you're sitting there saying that, we have all this potential and the guy's just got to step up and he's got to do this and he's got to do that. Well, you know what? the Eagles were criticized for not having receivers for years. And guess what? Devonta Smith stepped the fuck up and actually had a decent year last year. And now they got AJ fucking over there. And that just makes that fucking wide receiver class that much better, or wide receiver room. All right. Dallas, we already know, has it. CeeDee Lamb is probably the best wide receiver in the NFC East as of today. I don't give a fuck about AJ Brown. I would still rather have CeeDee Lamb. I think that kid's a beast. He was awesome in college. Well, that remains to be seen. All right. Then you go over to Washington. Bro, even with Terry McLaurin, and they got Dotson now. That kid's great out of fucking Penn State. Bro, our fucking receiving room looks like a joke. I'm sorry. So that's why I put that question mark there. Because to me, as much as everybody's saying Jones needs to stay healthy and step up, Barkley needs to step up, the offensive line needs to come together, I need a fucking wide receiver room that has more than fucking 0 touchdowns this year. How about that? All right, more than 0, not 1, 2, but 0 as a collective fucking room. All right, that's embarrassing. I'm one to go out and talk shit. I'll be the first one to go talk shit to the fucking Washington fans, Philly fans. I already know there's a hit out on me in Dallas, but yo, I'm just saying, like, fuck that. I can't say anything with the way these guys are performing. I can't go out there and be like, yeah, Colin Johnson's better than AJ Brown. Like, I look like I'm fucking reading saying that kind of shit. No pun intended to that. That's just an expression, all right? So let me just bleep that one out later, Mike, all right? Thank you, but you know what I'm saying.
Mentally challenged.
Mentally challenged. I look like I got issues in my head. But anyhow, it's just the truth, man. And like I've been wanting to get behind this receiving class for so long, man. I got excited. I saw Robinson running around in practice. I saw Toney looking like he's finally getting engaged. I saw Galladay healthy. I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And then I see Galladay drop a pass. I don't see Toney fucking play because he's hurt already. I don't see Robinson getting into the offense. I'm like, dude, really?
Wait till week 1.
What am I waiting for here?
Just wait till week 1, and then everybody could have like an opinion on that. But right now, it's stupid to bitch about.
I hear you. It is. That's why I didn't want to get too deep into it. But you know what? It does lead us into our one of our favorite segments, which is actually becoming one of the main fucking segments that we like to do. And I want to just go out there. There's a couple of things I want to say. That's why I'm kind of giving the Haters Club its proper introduction tonight. Okay, tonight it really needs one that's deserved, because I would say, Mike, and I think you'd agree with me here, right, that this past Haters Club got probably the most attention than any of our other Haters Clubs so far this year.
Yes, because the 2 people we nominated turned into whiny bitches. Like,
we'll get to that in a minute. But also, too, and I noticed there was other people that started chiming in. And one of the things they were like, basically, don't feed into it. Don't do that bullshit. People like, oh, my God, you guys are basing a podcast around something we said on Twitter. No. You see, we saved maybe the last 10. Tonight, we might make it a little extra because we got Vin as a guest. And you know what? We had one of our biggest turnouts from this fucking segment of the show. But generally, it's a 5 to 10 minute segment. And all we do is we call out people on Twitter and other social media outlets for their bullshit, right? So the backlash becomes, well, why are you going to make fun of someone's opinion? Everybody's allowed to have an opinion. Absolutely. And that's the point of this segment, because it's calling out your opinion to make sure it's an opinion, which you should have something to back it up with, right? If you just really sit there and you're like, oh, the Giants suck. Oh my God, Daniel Jones is terrible. And you have nothing to back it up. You don't provide any additional facts that actually support your argument. You're being what they call a hater. So it actually makes perfect sense when we call you out on that shit. We also put in part of the segment where we say it's hate or debate, which means that we invite you on the show. We've had people come on the show that we put in the Haters Club, and they came on and debated. And guess what? They're no longer in the Haters Club because they got behind their opinion and supported it. Instead of just trying to get people all fucking riled up on Twitter, trying to get extra supporters. Oh my God, I got a couple of thousand likes today. Look at me. That's what the fuck it's all about. So for all you assholes that are out there that had to question that, I hope I clarified it tonight, all right? And generally we don't go this long, but we will for tonight, just because we had a bunch of fucking douchebags that were actually called out last week, because that's what they were. They never wanted to come out. They never DM'd me. I reached out to that kid again today. I can't DM him because he's a little bitch and he blocks me, but it's all good, bro, all right? It's all fucking good. So, Mike, I know you want to go with that. I know I got a new Haters Club. Vin, welcome to the Haters Club, all right? John, hopefully you got somebody for the Haters Club. It's the fucking Haters Club. Let's get this fucking going.
One of them unfollowed me. I was so sad. I mean, should we take
play the music, Mike?
Should we take a quick commercial break before we go into the Haters Club? But I got to leave you one little tidbit about like the whole game before we take a quick break. You know, somebody in the media asked Bill Belichick, like, you know, how come like your offense look, you know, kind of bland? And he's like, well, the opposite team just wouldn't stop fucking blitzing me. So I thought that was a great Bill Belichick line, but we'll be right back on the BBO NYG podcast. All right, we are back on the BBO NYG podcast. Mike, that's Jules, that's Sean. Special again, Ben is back on. Yeah, it's that time again, man. It's Hater Club. We're gonna do that, and then we'll wrap up with some other, you know, stuff we got on our minds. But Haters Club time, man.
Welcome all you ignorant ass bitches, critics, complainers, disgruntled rappers, and racists especially, to the 9th annual International Player Haters Ball. Oh man, hate.
Like, who do we got this week besides the two assholes that I just want to throw in from last week? They're back in. They're back in the haters. So shout out to them.
Mike, shout them out real quick. Yeah, so we can bring Ben up to date a little bit too.
Yeah, Brody and I forgot the Ashton. I think he's like, you can't even pronounce my name right. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to read your name. It says it looks like Ashton to me, so that's how I fucking read it. But I guess it's Ashton, like Ashton Kutcher. Like I don't fucking know, man. So whatever, man. You two are back in the fucking haters club, man. What up? Who else you got?
And Brody is it's Giant season. With the Z,
They
like
do.
a fucking idiot, right? Like,
And the Commanders season, he chimed in, right? Remember the Commanders, the Washington Redskins? I'm like, you don't even need to be part of this conversation. Your team sucks, and they will always suck, and you're racist, you know. So he was fucking out of there too.
They're not racist anymore. They changed their name.
Yeah, they changed the name to the Commanders. Ooh, who do you command? You fucking faggot? Sorry, I'll bleep that out.
But you know, it's funny too because I don't know if I think I might have mentioned it earlier. It makes sense that Brody kid, because I called him out on it because he was like, it was like he's from like the fucking Wizard of Oz or some stupid shit he had like the fucking block where he was from, and then finally he changed it to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. It's nothing but a bunch of dicks down in Philly. And don't worry, Finn, I got a hit out on me in Philly as well. So it's all good. I can talk as much shit as I want.
What these guys say? What made
So
them,
the whole thing started with, believe it or not, with a fantasy thing, right?
Because
And I
Jules
couldn't
was drunk,
resist-
Ben.
I was drunk on a Sunday.
I have to side with Brody on this one.
Good. Definitely a little intoxicated, right? And the guy was just like, he basically, this is how this whole shit started. He basically said, he's like, you know, Saquon Barkley's gonna be the fucking steal of the draft. And I'm like, dude, he's going at the end of the first round, beginning of the second round. That's not a steal. That's where you draft quality players, right? And he's like, what do you know? And he just starts coming at me, and I'm drunk. I ain't got time to argue on fantasy, especially about Saquon Barkley going to the end of the first round, beginning of the second. So I go off on him a little bit, and he's going back and forth, and then he's pretending to be a 13-year-old kid, then he's a grown man, then he's engaged, then he's not. So I'm like, yo, so after a while, I got annoyed with the dude.
He was talking to
I said,
multiple
"Listen,"
people. He didn't know.
I said, listen, we were in the room. I got a bigger dick than you. And I was like, boom, I'll throw that shit out on the table, right? I got thrown in Twitter jail for that. Then we went back at it during the week. We got back into it again. I got thrown in Twitter jail again. So, you know, it's just been this kind of ongoing thing with me and this kid. But obviously, he doesn't want to debate. He's a straight hater because he has no balls to actually get from behind his Twitter account. He's got a picture of Saquon Barkley that he hides around. The only credit I could give him, and I called him out for it today, was that he's from fucking Philadelphia, or at least pretends to be. Who knows? You go look at that shit tomorrow and probably say Dallas, Texas. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the type of guy he is. He hides behind his account.
Yeah.
And then he's got the nerve to say he's got a couple hundred more fucking followers than me. I was like, good for you, kid. High five.
You're getting catfished for, you know.
Yeah, for real. Right. Yeah, Mateo. It's really
that Brody
Michael
kid's been me the
Parsons.
whole time.
Yo, Michael Parsons wanted to come at me since last year because I called his ass out. That's why there's a hit out on me in Dallas. You know, he probably put up this fucking kid to fucking come at me and shit. He's like, bro, I ain't got time for it. Here's a couple of hours. Don't fuck with this dude.
If you get if you get DM by Lawrence Taylor, like be careful out there. You know, when LT wants to meet you in the back of like a fucking bowling alley and shit.
Speaking of LT, when was the last time that you guys saw Any Given Sunday? Like sat and watched the whole 2.5 hours?
Oh, the whole thing, not for a bit.
While ago, yeah.
Couple of years, man, at least.
Like 2 years or like 15 years, 20
It's
years.
probably it's probably more like that. When I say a couple years, in my mind, it's like 15. Yeah.
I watched it the other day. It's actually a pretty good movie. I
It wasn't
remember
bad.
like being
It
like,
wasn't bad.
It was good.
The only thing I sometimes criticize was Oliver Stone likes to do his little scenes where it's like they're doing the flashbacks and he starts showing like why Tittle fucking throwing the ball as Jamie Foxx is dropping back. Like some of that shit was a little over dramatized, but other than that, it was a solid movie. Pacino's always good. Cameron Diaz was solid in it. All the guys that made their cameos were fantastic. They all played up their parts.
yeah, LT being one of them.
I can't think of who the aging quarterback was. What his real name? With the real
Dennis
actor's name.
Quaid.
Dennis
Dennis
Quaid.
Quaid. Thank you. Yeah, he was fantastic. They were all very, very good in the movie. They all played their roles fantastically.
Yeah, a lot better of a movie. If you haven't seen that movie, I think it was like Amazon Prime. It's free. It's worth sitting down to watch like straight through. It's not like most of the time when they make a football movie, it's either like super serious, like The Blind Side, or it's just like a joking movie, like The Replacements or Longest Yard. But I was surprised. I was like, I haven't seen this shit since like fucking '99 or whenever it came out. And I was like, I was pleasantly surprised. And LT was in, and it was cool to see like, Giants being represented in a positive way. Not that they mentioned it that he played for. He obviously was a Shark the whole time, but it's pretty cool to see.
The other time LT was behind a camera was like on off the New Jersey Turnpike at a hotel when you're trying to get a hooker. Yeah,
I do have a nominee. I've been thinking about it.
And here I was thinking that John was just all about the debate tonight. He was going to be like, anybody want to debate me about any given Sunday, bring it. Hit me up in the DM. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was going to be like, yo, fuck LT. Come at me, LT.
Yeah, LT was third best ever.
You sucked in that movie.
Wait, John, do you have someone you said?
The fucking New York Yankees, bro.
Oh, come on. Fuck that.
I got to do it.
I can't even right now.
It's so annoying. They look like they can't play baseball anymore.
That's
It's
another
unbelievable.
That's another podcast, Sean. We're really depressed about with the way.
Well, now, Vin, did you
right
get the
now?
text I sent you? Could you introduce my actual nominee for this week for the Haters Club for me, please?
Your nominee?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. I texted to you.
I
It's
can't
going to be
pronounce
at the last name first name.
Let me see if I say it. Let me see if I could say it correctly.
Quick. Yankees top.
Last name.
I hate it right now.
Tara. First name Lewis.
No. It's Prvitera.
Privia.
You might as well just say it now, dude.
Lewis, because he does his last name first and then it's Lewis, right? But I think it's I don't know, Privitera Lewis, right? Privitera at Privitera Lewis. I told him I would shout him out tonight on the Haters Club because my man was going in hard about how he thought Tyrod Taylor looked good in that game and how Daniel Jones just looked like Daniel Jones. He has zero confidence in Daniel Jones this season, and that he would actually almost be okay with having Tyrod as our fucking starter this year. And just that's how much he was saying that Tyrod looked good. He looked comfortable. He looked better than Daniel Jones in this past week. And I lost my shit for a little bit, but we had a very good debate. It didn't turn into the kind of hated shit. So my man Lou, you are definitely welcome to come on the show if you want to debate this topic a little further, because it was pretty cool. It was back and forth with some decent shit, but he's still a little out of his fucking mind thinking that Tyrod Taylor looked that good with the sailing passes over the head.
Tyrod,
the bobble pass that fucking landed into the fucking receiver's hands on third down. I mean, bro,
Tyrod was playing against people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? Fourth quarter, like, calm down.
He had 4 interception-worthy throws out of his 12 passes or wherever he had 4 interception-worthy throws.
I'm glad we saved that for right now.
It looked pretty bad.
Because let's see what happens on Saturday. And then this week, come Monday, I will definitely DM you personally. And we'll see if this Tyrod fucking Jones debate is even worth the fucking the time. So I'm just going to kind of leave it there with that one. Vin, I know before we got to let you go, bro. You got anybody you want to throw in there real quick?
It's the hater I will put in here every time, week in, week out, because he always says something crazy. And that would be a friend of the show, a friend of all of ours, Michael Malarzik. No socials. He got no socials. Michael Malarzik prides himself on being a fantasy or general football guru. And in a group chat today, he started to mention he's a Washington Commanders fan and he makes the mention that he believes Carson Wentz will have a better season than Russell Wilson, would have a better season than Matt Ryan. Obviously, Wentz has left Indy. Russell Wilson was supposed to go to Washington. So it's obviously a homer account on his part, or a take on his part. So Mike Malarzik, this is, if you ever catch this and you ever want to come on the show, I'm sure Trainer will have you. By all means, but you're probably too scared to come on the show.
Yes, he's way too scared to come on.
Indy
gave up. Hold on, Jules.
Yeah.
Indy actually, they were like, all we need is a quarterback to actually win, to have Super Bowl dreams. And they're like, let me just get rid of this loser, Carson Wentz, that went against they needed a big game against Jacksonville, week 18 or week 17, whatever the fuck it was last year.
And they shit the bed.
I was like, and you want this guy, Washington?
They paid him $30 million. They paid him 30.
The 5 quarterbacks turned him down. Like, all right, Carson Wentz. It's like going out with the really disgusting looking chick after you had a few drinks, and all the hot chicks at the bar turn you down. You're just like, all right, I'm settling. I'm fucking settling, man.
Well, what's funny is that he talks shit about Matt Ryan. Meanwhile, the entire Colts organization felt that they would be better with Matt Ryan than instead of Carson Wentz. But Mike Malarzik knows better than the entire Indianapolis Colts organization, because he doesn't believe in that. All right. Just put it out there that they thought 36-year-old Matt Ryan is better than 29-year-old Carson Wentz. And so do I. And for you fantasy players out there, do not draft Russell Wilson behind fucking Carson Wentz. You were doomed, and you were just going to lose your fucking fantasy season. That's the best advice I can. Russell Wilson is a starting quarterback in fantasy this year. You can book it. You can put it back on me on that one. 100%. If you want to have a fun debate, because if we're already comparing the fact that Daniel Jones might not fucking start over Tyrod Taylor or any kind of nonsense like that, you want to say, will Carson Wentz have a better year than Jones? Let's have fun with it. That's a more fun argument.
That's a good bet.
This same Mike guy likes to talk his shit that he does, and he keeps thinking that me and a few other people in the group chat that we happen to have this gentleman in, if you want to call him that at the moment, he thinks that we keep talking the Giants up like they're going to win the Super Bowl. All I keep saying to him is, don't fucking be surprised if the Giants finish ahead of Washington this year, because Washington ain't any fucking good either, dude. Let's just put that shit out there. Guess what? You can put a fucking hit on me in DC as well. I don't hate on you guys that much. You know why? Because you suck.
Irrelevant.
Washington ain't even worth having a conversation about. I'm chasing Philly and Dallas, who are the real competition in the division.
So they thought that they were going to have the best pass rush ever and fucking go to Super Bowls because of Chase Young.
Carson Wentz should just go in the witness protection program and go work at Cinnabon, like Better Call Saul. Just get it over with, man. Just fucking leave the entire NFL, please. He's done.
Mike, did you like the finale?
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to ruin it for.
Yeah, don't ruin that.
We'll talk after air about it. But I did like it. I know, Jules. I don't want to spoil for. Besides you, I don't even care.
No details. What was your opinion?
I don't want to hear it.
I liked it.
Talking about Better Call Saul. No fucking spoilers, all right? No spoilers. I haven't watched the end yet, all right?
Everyone gets shot.
Everybody dies, Jules.
Everybody dies. There is no Breaking Bad. I was in it. Like, goof. This was actually in the future, and this happened after Breaking Bad.
Actually, all of them died because of a new COVID strain hit Better Call Saul. So, everybody just got wiped out. So,
the whole finale was just about COVID. It was crazy. They were all
wearing masks. It was terrible. Terrible ending. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
But all right, listen. I think that wraps it up. Vin, in case we don't have you on before the season starts, give me one bold prediction that you see for the 2022 season for the New York Giants. Bold prediction. Bold. Like a Mike Malarzik prediction.
Well, Ben did say he wanted to get some stuff off his mind, so we'll give him the last 10 minutes of the show to just ramble off whatever's upsetting.
This is your time. Go and shine.
All right. I think we, like you said before, I think Slayton to clear some cap money so we could go out. Slayton's got to get traded so we could go out and get ourselves a veteran corner. I know we got the Bills guy, but I know Joe Hayden's out there. I don't know how expensive he'll be at this age. What is he, like 37 at this point? 38?
Still out there?
Didn't even play.
No, it's better than letting Aaron Robinson grow.
Maybe.
No, but just having him in the room and having another body, and, just having some veteran leadership, I feel like that cornerback room could probably use it. And we need depth. So I'm really worried about the secondary. What else? Jones makes me nervous. We will go as far as Jones will take us. I should have wrote some of this stuff down. I had so much stuff to say. Yeah, all right. Bold prediction wise, I don't know that the Giants. I don't know. This is a real rebuild year
From the heart. There's got to be a bold prediction from the heart. Like, it could be a little crazy. I mean, I think training is that we're going to be like fucking 14-3 or something. I'm not even sure.
That Kadarius Toney plays an entire season. That he plays
17 games.
17
I
games.
like that.
And
There
he
it is.
did.
All right.
Every game we see Kadarius Toney's hoodie, and he's got a smile. I'm not saying he's playing good. I'm not saying he's playing bad, but he is there and he's present and he's in the game. I hope Saquon does a real comeback after year 2 with the ACL. And, I hope we don't sign him long term. We don't invest in him just because of the position. This is no indictment on Saquon, the player, or the kid, or the person. I think he's a good dude and all, but I just don't want to have a albatross of a contract on a running back, where I think a committee will be perfectly fine. I want to see growth with the offense. I want to see creativity from the offense. I want to see some gadget plays. I don't want it to be the main part of our offense, but I do want to see some, we've been coming from the most conservative offensive coordinator in Jason Garrett. Like, I need to see a little bit of creativity. Just have some guys in motion, which pre-snap motions and stuff like that, which we've been seeing in camp. I honestly, another bold prediction, we get a week 1 win. Let's get over 500. Let's start.
I'm on that one. I'm with you.
Let's start 1-0. When was the last time we had a winning record? You know what I mean? So, my bold predictions seem to be not too. I think they're pretty reachable. They're not too high in terms of reaching them. So I don't know. I guess Kadarius Toney to play a full season, and let's get above 500 within the first. With week 1 against Tennessee on the road, which I try to get tickets to that game. That I don't know if you guys have been in that stadium. That stadium is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, it's
Really?
because everybody goes
because
there.
it's Nashville.
Yeah, it's
the
vacation
home
spot.
opener, and
Go right
it's
by
gonna be-
You go
I
right
so
by.
wanted tickets. Tickets were like $600. I was like, I can't.
Whoa.
Yo, it was. Usually me and my brother go to the first. We were always like $50. Like, if we're gonna go away, we always get good seats.
Oh,
But good seats cost us under $200. Like, I'm willing to pay $170.
Yeah.
At Lambeau for the playoff game, with the drop ball by Odell, we were there. I only paid $120, and we were right on the 50-yard line. Yo,
Bro, I
we
spent
did
more at the
nothing.
movies.
You know why? Because it was like literally like negative 13 degrees that day. I feel like they dropped prices. You know
They
what I
would have
mean?
paid. They would have paid me to go up there. Man. Fuck
Yo,
that.
it was rough. And then to watch that game, Eli was dealing. And these doofuses, to your point earlier, Jules, that wide receiver room let us down in that game. Really let us down.
Road
Going
trip,
down.
baby.
Yeah, boat trip. And then pregame, we saw them. They were running around without their shirts on and stuff. I'm like, look at these jerks. And then they went and he put it in the numbers in their hands, and they dropped everything. Shepard,
Touchdown.
Cruz, Odell. They let us down so much in that game.
Yeah.
Then the defense fell apart.
So
I got-
aside from week 1, because that's just the kickoff to the regular season. Week 2 being the home opener against Carolina. Week 3 being a Monday night against Dallas. What next game would you then be most looking forward to talking about?
Well, we have Baltimore week 6, right?
Is it week 6?
I got a schedule right here, actually.
All right. Think so.
Because I think our divisional games are a little bit later in the year, right?
Yeah. Except for the Dallas, and I think we got Washington somewhere in the middle, and then it's all at the end.
Yeah, we have Dallas week 3. We have we play Green Bay in London in a 9:30 game. So
Right.
I'd look forward to that.
Well, then pick one, because that's the next one you're coming on to talk about.
Other than the week 1, because
Yeah.
I want to see what they do in week 1. Honestly, the Dallas game, I guess. I'm looking forward.
All right. Well,
I'm
let's
looking
go
forward
for
to the
Dallas
divisional
then.
game. I just want to see how we match up against a team that I think has taken a step back. I think Dallas takes a step back this year, big time. Their wide receivers are getting hurt.
Got no coaching.
Right. I think McCarthy
No
is
discipline.
way overrated.
No
I
discipline.
think. Yeah, I think even Diggs, like I think people are going to be on to him this year. Parsons is a star. I think that guy's going to still do his thing. You know, Dallas has Mika. Washington has
Micah.
Chase. You know, and we have Kayvon.
They got Sweat. They got Sweat. You mean that's their best defensive player?
Yeah, maybe,
Sweat, all right?
maybe. Well, Chase is on the pup list. I don't think you see Chase till at least the first month. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. So he tore that ACL. What was that? In the middle of the year last year, towards the end.
I
So
don't remember.
yeah, he's.
You know what's crazy with that kind of stuff, though? You know, you hear that he tore his ACL, right? But then you have Zach Wilson ripped his meniscus, tore this, fucking blew up his knee, went for surgery, and he might play week 2 or week 3. Like he's already, and that shit just happened not even a week ago. Like I don't understand it. So like, you know, you got to question something.
And another statement I want to make on the defense, because I expect some good things out of the defensive line and the linebackers, believe it or not.
Hell yeah.
I think the guy, like with Tibbs and Aziz, and they're going to be rushing from the edge, and Wink's scheme of blitzing, I think Leonard Williams might get back to his double-digit sacks. That's what I think. I think Leonard Williams is going to have – he's the guy that's kind of gotten forgotten here. You know what I mean? I really feel like Leonard Williams is gonna ball out. I don't know what he's healthy. He's a good dude. I think the contract we overpaid by even trading for him and all that. So I've always had a bad taste about him, but he had a really good year for that contract year. You know what I mean? And I think because of all this all this talent now surrounding him, this guy's gonna go to work. I really think Leonard Williams is gonna get to minimum 8, 9, 10 double digits. I would say double digits. I would be comfortable in saying Leonard Williams is going to have double digits in sacks. He can get back to that. You know what I mean? So,
I think he's going to break Strahan's record. That's just me. I go in every season with mad fucking hope, man. Mad hope. You know what I'm saying?
So, man, just to recap.
Defensive tackle.
Just to recap real quick, Vin, by the time we have you on the show again the next time, which would be around the Dallas game, whether it's before or after, we should expect Toney to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 21 receptions for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Leonard Williams has 2 sacks, and the Giants are at least 2-0 going into that Dallas game, right? That's sort of what we're doing these both predictions.
Honestly, Jules, I'll take 1-1. I'll take 1-1.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean? Just
That's
please give
fair.
us something to get going. I don't want to start 0-2 going in. Are we going into Dallas? No, they're home.
No, they're coming to us on Monday night.
Yeah. Oh, because Thanksgiving we go to them. Another game.
Yep.
Yo, we play Thanksgiving
3-0 by
2
then.
years. Yeah, it's crazy. They always hook up Dallas. It's unbelievable.
Always.
I got a bold prediction about.
Oh, drop it like it's hot.
I think I bet Kadarius Toney shows up with a hoodie on his helmet week 1.
Over that padding that they wear, over the padding.
Right over his fucking
He
helmet.
takes the helmet off, and he's got that padding underneath.
All you see is like a little face mask fucking sticking out of his fucking hoodie.
He's being very safe. And he's got a visor. With a
Love that
visor.
I love that fucking guy. He's a lunatic.
With like a little chin strap, just like chilling on the sideline.
That's young Joker, baby. Young Joker.
That's it, young Joker. Man, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, yo, listen, fellas. I think that wraps us up. Man, thank you for coming on.
Thanks
again.
for having me,
It was a
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Let me know what game you guys are going to. Let's circle one on the calendar. We're all gonna fucking
Dallas
go.
Monday night. Let's do it.
Dallas Monday night, maybe that might be someone leaning towards. You might have to call out for work. I'm sick on Tuesday, but definitely that we're gonna do. Haters Club. I hope we clarify what the fucking difference is now for you haters out there. You know, if you're a hater, you know it. All right. So welcome to the new club. If you were mentioned this week, we got more to come on that. All right. And look, we got another preseason game this Saturday. Let's fucking wait to see what happens then. Let's see what kind of offense they run. Let's see who's out there. Let's see if Daniel Jones plays. Let's see what Tyrod Taylor does. And then we'll go from there. All right. We'll be one more week closer. But don't forget this, that when that game is over, we will still have another preseason game with the Jets the following week on fucking Sunday afternoon. So there's no reason to get your panties in a bunch. We got a long fucking week road ahead, but not that much, John. How much longer till kickoff?
How much longer is it kickoff? Let's
The
see.
official clock.
Game 1 is 25 days, 19 hours, 10 minutes exactly.
There it is.
Damn.
So you got time, but you don't got a lot of time. And like the great Yogi Berra said, it's getting late early. So that's how we're going to wrap up this week's episode. You know, hit the like button, subscribe, do all the good shit. We appreciate it. Always helps. We'll see you next week. Peace.